Hey guys, this is Ron again, and you're listening to Just Real Talk. And today I want to dive into your soul, guiding us along what our soul longs for. I think the longing to know who we truly are beneath the surface, basically beneath the identities and beneath the expectations that's been put onto us. So I guess that's what we're going to talk about today. When we come into this world, we are given a name. We are given an identity. We are given a story. We are given a religion. So we are given a script to follow. We are given a path to follow based on somebody else. So somebody else says, like, this is who you are. This is how you always been. This is the kind of path that you're gonna follow. This is what you're gonna be when you grow up. So when you're already given a path, when you're already given a map, when you're already given a story to follow, when you get to a certain point of life, you realize that it's not who I truly am. Because you know why? Because it was given to you. The story was given to you, the name was given to you, the role was given to you, or the religion was given to you, right? So basically, you never got the chance to figure that out yourself. I feel like parts of us feel inherited versus cultivated from our own heart, if that makes sense. We are our past generation's seedling, basically. We are a continuation of the past. So I feel like if all of those roles faded, if no one expected anything from you, the question is, who would you see? And I feel like we live in a world that tells us to perform, to be safe, to be lovable, to be palatable, to fit in. And I feel like in that survival game, a soul kind of hides itself. I think that's what they call the shadow. So basically what that means is, like, for example, you look at a job description. What are the few things that they ask? They are like, how do you handle stress? How do you handle pressure? Are you flexible to work in a team environment? Are you adaptable? How do you handle conflicts? I think these are all ways of them wanting us to be in a bubble. They want to hear, obviously, we all will be answering yes to the entire question. We'll even make up scenarios where we've done this, we've done that. That's more so palatable, that's more so flexible, that's more so conforming to the rules or the way to be within a society. So I think it's happening everywhere. It's happening where people are happy with you if you fit the description of how they want you to be. And the moment you step out of that line, the moment you step out of that box, is when the fear creeps in from the outer world, because they don't know you anymore, because you are not fitting into the box. You're not fitting into their version of palatable. So then instead of them changing what they want to change, they want us to change. I feel like that's where us leaning more into what truly matters to us makes sense for our soul. I think with today's society, I feel like you might look fine from the outside, but inside, I think when you start following these rules, when you start shrinking, or when you try to fit in, eventually, I think you start to feel numb, because you forget your own instincts, you forget your own voice. And I feel like intuition in the process is drowned, because we are following somebody else's version of the script. I think intuition is your soul, basically, and it's waiting for you to slowly listen to it. And the more real you are, the less you hide, and the louder your intuition speaks. And I feel like surrendering is a way of letting your intuition be louder, because control is a version of you silencing your inner voice and going with what's been given to you, the plan that I was talking about. But when you surrender, you're actually giving in to self-compassion, self-expression, to the journey towards your soul. I feel like when people talk about your purpose in life, what am I supposed to do in life? I think it is your purpose in life, for me at least, is to figure out what my soul truly wants. That's my purpose. Like, every single thing that I would be doing would be more aligned to what I want in life. And that's how you understand your purpose in life. Doesn't mean that every single day you're gonna be like, okay, this feels perfect. No, you're still gonna have off days. But the more true you are to yourself, sometimes it might feel like confusing to you because you are basically shedding layers of yourself from the past or who you've known yourself to be your entire life. To listen to yourself finally, it can be a liberating plus a very isolating experience where, because you no longer identify with the friendship, you no longer identify with the relationships or even family, and because they're so used to you being a certain kind of way, right? So the more you listen to yourself, the more you listen to your intuition, you will be attracted towards a different kind of crowd, maybe the crowd you've never been attracted to or drawn towards. And maybe you have to leave behind a layer or people who no longer align to the new version of you that you're becoming. And honestly, it's a journey that I feel like every single person should take. It's an invitation if you wanna see it that way. I feel like to connect with myself is I close my eyes. I also take like 5 slow breaths, let go of what I don't think I need to be and just be. And after that, I slowly open my eyes and I think about like what's the first thought that comes into my mind or comes to me. For example, I am filling in the blanks without like any kind of judgment. And the simple I am can be a daily doorway to reconnecting to your soul. Our true purpose might just be this. That's like stripping away the noise until we meet our actual truth. I feel like when you live in that kind of realness, when you live in that kind of alignment, meaning, feeling, resonance, I feel like everything else just starts to click because you won't choose to live in anybody else's shadows. You won't be living in a script that's been handed over to you. The more truer you are, the more you live in your essence, I feel like the more harder it'll be for you to go into places that once you used to fit in. You used to go just to fit in, right? It'll be very uncomfortable for you because you're no longer living in a script. You're living in your own script that you're supposed to live in. Like I said, the more real you are, the louder your intuition starts sounding. So you will be able to hear those thoughts or you'll be able to make better choices for yourself versus we are so used to like asking ChatGPT, Google, our friends, our family sometimes, certain decision like what should I do? That's because you're not truly connected to your intuition or you don't trust your intuition much because all throughout your life, anything you do, maybe you've been told like, oh, that's not the right choice, or you've made a few mistakes and you've taken a step back and stopped trusting yourself. But once you start listening to yourself and making those small choices, I think your life will start to resonate in more truth and more alignment. And the rest, always follows. Like I said, I think the more you do that, the more you figure out who you truly are, like your soul's purpose. And it's not like when I say soul's purpose, I'm not saying like you're not gonna go inherit like a palace or something. What I meant was like, I think it's peace. I think humans' natural flow or state of mind is happiness and peace. Every other emotion like fear, scarcity, anger, all of those are emotions that's tied up to the ego. Your natural flow of life is a level of consciousness that comes from happiness, compassion, peace. Here's another thing that I feel like every single person should know about, because this happens when you're trying to be your full self. Being real sometimes means being misunderstood, but I'd rather be misunderstood than misaligned, if that makes sense. You're gonna come across situations where you will feel the need to explain, but you just hold back and be like, let them misunderstand you. Because when you hold back, anybody who wants to know you will come to you. You don't need to go to them to explain yourself. Be okay with being misunderstood. But basically, this is what I wanted to kind of say. And thank you for letting me hold space with you today. If this landed in your heart, I'd love for you to subscribe or share it with a friend who needs permission to be themselves. Until next time, stay soft, stay real, and stay surrendered. And I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And this is just Real Talk.